Well, hey everybody, and welcome to camp. I'm Counselor Steve, and pay no attention to that copyright sign back there, but today we're going to talk about a movie that I really love in the Friday the 13th franchise because you guess what? Today's Friday the 13th, and we're going to talk about a movie that's actually going to celebrate its 40th anniversary this August, and that is Friday the 13th Part 3. And guess what? The best part about it? It's in 3D. And everybody knows that 3D movies are superior to all other movies because everyone freaked out about Avatar, even though I still don't get it. And the best 3D movie of all time is Spy Kids 3D by a mile. I still have the DVD and just is so beautiful and just stands the test of time as being one of the best cinematic masterpieces of all time. You know how hard that was to say with a straight face? I mean, just look at that race scene. It's like amazing, and you don't know what's going to happen to Junie. It's so intense. And wait, is that Frodo? So with Friday the 13th Part 3, I want to talk about some behind the scenes stuff, some of my favorite moments in the movie, and just why I really enjoy it and why it's probably in my top 5, maybe even top 3 of the Friday the 13th franchise. And I might even give you my top 3 by the end of this video, and I'll just give you a little spoiler right now. This is one of the few franchises where the first movie is not at the top of my list, so stay tuned for that. So one of the things I always find interesting, I actually watched the Crystal Lake Memories documentary quite a bit, and if you haven't ever seen it, I would highly recommend it because it's very long, but it goes over every single movie of the Friday the 13th franchise and in great detail of what went on, how it was made, all of the actors, all of the crew. A lot of the different crew members from each movie come back and they talk about their experience. Even if it's not as positive as some others, they all come back. And the rare thing about this movie, though, is that even though there were so many crappy moments, like they had to use this new Lumicrane technology that was brand new for all the 3D stuff, the crew seemed to still have a good time, even though a lot of it was hell. And a lot of the cast had to wait around for a lot of moments because it would take so long to set up these 3D shots. They would take like a multiple takes to try to get it right because you had to have it just perfect for this 3D camera stuff. Like, there's even a scene towards the beginning, I don't know if I'll find the clip, but there's a guy that actually gets killed toward the beginning. I don't even remember his name actually, but you can see him look at the camera to make sure he's getting it in the right spot because apparently they were doing multiple takes and he was just missing every time. So it was a bit of a hellish production, but the cast also talks very positively about the director, Steve Miner, and everything, and it seems like it was still a positive experience for a lot of people, even though it was a bit of a bitch to work on. But with that hard work came some very iconic kills and very iconic moments just from using that 3D technology, which a lot of people can take or leave. If you haven't seen it in 3D, I haven't got to see it on a big screen in 3D, but I would love to. But I actually got to watch a 3D DVD of it when I was in Florida with some of my friends. My roommate had it, and that was a very fun night to see it all come at the screen because I'd seen it once before, but to see like the joint pass to you and everything, it was very funny, and it just made everything really goofy, and the tone of the movie sticks to that. Like, nothing is really serious at all in this movie. Like, the first 2 movies kind of seem a bit more like they're trying to make a serious horror movie in a way, but they're still very campy. And with this movie being 3D, there's a lot of iconic kills that are sometimes goofy, but honestly stand the test of time just of how they stick in your mind, not necessarily because they're the best ever. As they keep making it look better and better, those kills start to look worse and worse, unfortunately, but there's still a funness to it, and they look fairly good sometimes. I can't speak to everything. So in this movie we have a lot of the 3D with some iconic kills, but the one thing I love the most is the intro music. We have the iconic Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th theme, but it's redone to sound like disco music, and it's very, very fun. So I'm gonna give you a little unseen clip right here. That's some good shit, right? So a lot of people are pretty critical of this movie's kills because of the 3D, and you see a lot of the faults and a lot of the wires that they use, and it takes a little bit out of it, but at the same time, for me, being a film nerd and wanting to make movies myself, seeing that kind of stuff and seeing the film history is actually really fun for me, and everything doesn't have to be perfect and gives a little bit of charm to it, in my opinion, so I like it. So one of my favorite kills, honestly, is the harpoon gun scene where he shoots the girl that's out in the lake from like the balcony area or whatever he's at, where you actually first see the hockey mask that he gets from Shelly, which we'll get to Shelly in a minute. I love that kill. One of my other favorite kills is actually when he goes after Rick and he kind of smashes his head and his eyeball pops out at the camera. It is so silly looking, still to this day. I mean, as technology, like I said, HD technology gets better, that kill honestly gets funnier and funnier to me, so I don't know, I just enjoy looking at it, and honestly, back then, I feel like it could have been pretty scary to a lot of audiences who didn't see the wire and everything, so I like it a lot. So we'll come to my least favorite part of this movie, and that is Shelly. Shelly is the worst. He's not cool. He says he's not cool. He's very self-deprecating, but He's kind of the worst because he tries to act like he's a nice guy, but he's so far from it. He's an asshole.
I'm not an asshole.
He's mad at the world because they don't like him. He thinks he's not hot enough. He thinks he's ugly. And it's like, dude, just relax. Try to be funny a little bit. But his sense of humor is very far from everybody else's because he tries to, like, scare people and be really weird, and it just doesn't work, dude. If you want to make friends and be cool, tell some jokes and actually be funny, Shelly. Because look at me. Look at my audience. They love me. Just look at that number right there. Ha, they all love me, right? Please love me. So if you're still sticking around right now and you're looking for like a number, I think on my ranking, it's like a 4 out of 5. It's 3.5 out of 5 maybe. I really love it. In my rankings of the franchise, it falls right around 3 or 4 maybe. I think 3. Friday 6 is by far my favorite just because it's so funny and it's basically a horror comedy, but I really like 2. And I think 3 goes right there. I think it's 6, 2, 3, and then maybe 1. But yeah, there's a lot of good things in this movie. I think the kills are pretty awesome if you like the 3D and you kind of want to buy into the goofiness of it. I think it's a really fun watch still, like I said. It's 3rd in my ranking of the franchise, and if you haven't seen any of the Friday the 13th movies, this one's not a bad one to start with. Honestly, I'd recommend 2 first, just because it's kind of the first movie, but better in my opinion. It's kind of a good intro, but if you're a fan of slasher movies and you haven't gotten around to it, you can watch 3, and honestly you can watch any of these movies in any order because there's no really storyline throughout, so check it out if you like it. I think it's a fun time, and yeah, that's Friday the 13th Part 3D, and if you want to know more about it, write in the comments, let me know. I'll answer some questions for you. Like I said, go watch that documentary if you're a fan of the franchise or want to learn more. Go watch the movies if you haven't already in this Friday the 13th franchise. It's one of my favorites. I watch them all the time. Like I said, 6 is my favorite, but you can pretty much jump in wherever you want to. There's no really connecting story throughout. There's a little bit of one, but not enough to really care. So watch what you want to watch. Comment your thoughts and let me know what you think. Tell me about this video if you liked it or not. And if you want me to do more retro reviews, comment what you want me to review, and maybe I haven't seen it before and I can give you some fresh thoughts on it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this, and I gotta go back to my campers because I just learned a new Maroon 5 track that I really want to teach them. So I will see you guys next time, or maybe even at the campfire.
Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble.
Nice one, Steve. Another one down in the books. Whew. Oh no.